my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. And today's reading is a monthly reading for February 2026 for the fire sign Aries. Aries, how are you? I hope that you have had a good start to the new year. For the reading today, we're going to be using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck by Jennifer Galasso. I'll be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread. If I need to clarify anything, I have the mini gilded tarot deck to clarify. And just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate, right? I often say that it's a good idea for you to watch not just your sun sign, but also your moon and rising. That way you'll have a more complete overview of the energy surrounding you at this time. If you do enjoy the reading today, please do consider giving the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. You could also subscribe to the channel. That way you will be notified when I do post new content. And if you're looking for more regular, like shorter content, you can find that over on TikTok. You can follow me there at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok. I do post daily, weekly videos. I'm also in the middle of doing a Learn to Read the Tarot series. So I'm up to part 100 and something right now. So if you're interested in the new year, getting into tarot card reading for yourself, you might want to take a look at those. So join me there as well. Okay, let's get going. So you begin, center of your spread, you begin with the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, Pseudo Pentacles is earth energy and has to do with the money that we earn. It's our home, our family, the material possessions, things here in the physical realm. And Fours in the Tarot, they're a very stable energy, the foundational type of energy. But you can see that the person on the card is just clutching the pentacles. So, oftentimes like the guidance when the Four of Pentacles comes out is to be careful not to make the energy surrounding your finances, your money, become stagnant by, holding onto it too tightly. The energy needs to flow, so you need to earn money, use it to pay your bills, try to save some, so there's this kind of flow of money coming in and going out. Obviously, we hope to have more coming in than going out. But when you try to just hold on too tightly like this, you can run the risk of, the energy becoming stagnant. That could just be a real focus on your finances at this time and on saving money. Perhaps you spent more than you should have done over the Christmas period, and so there's this, tightening the reins, trying to, control your finances. Beautiful. We have crossing, so what can help or hinder? We have the Sun card. This is number 19 of the Major Arcana. And the Sun is good health, vitality, it's home, it's family. You can see she's holding the child on the card. But it's just a very positive, energy. And when it shows up in a reading, it can also lessen like the severity of any of the other cards. So if there are kind of negative cards that show up in a reading, even though there really are no negative cards, but it can lessen the severity of that. So the Sun coming out beautiful. So it could be, a month where it could be you also just, really shining. So you're shining, whether this is as it's clarifying this Four of Pentacles, shining in the workplace. This is also, the card associated with the sign of Leo, so fellow fire sign. We have here at the bottom, in the foundational position, the Page of Wands. So for some of you, you might have already experienced this energy with news coming in, possibly surrounding a job or a creative project, an endeavor. Could be a person that you're dealing with. If so, this would typically be a younger fire sign individual. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And this is a very creative energy, right? This person is very good at coming up with new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking about, a project. They kind of think outside of the box. So if it's not a person that you're dealing with, it could just be you. You might have been, just really thinking outside of the box, right? This could have been you taking on this energy. Could also, like I said, be news coming in about, because pages typically bring in news about a job. We have the Nine of Wands in the recent past. So the Nine of Wands is often referred to as like the Wounded Warrior card. And it, you can see that she's taking a rest, right? She's sitting down here, but she's still holding the wand. So even though she's resting, she's still kind of on guard. She's, attentive. watching out just to see if, if she needs to defend herself. So it's can often show up when there's like one last thing you need to do before you're able to close out a cycle, one last obstacle you have to face, right, or jump over, a hurdle you have to cross. But it's nearly the end of a cycle. There's 9 of Wands. It's one before the 10, which ends that particular cycle. So there might be, if there is a delay or like one last thing that you have to accomplish or to finish before being able to close out this cycle, it's like you're nearing, right? You're nearly there. Yeah, and you have crowning your reading the Ace of Swords. So this is clarity of mind coming in. Aces in the tarot are blessings from the universe. They're also big yes cards. So if you've been waiting for an answer to a question, this is your this is your yes. So it's the big green light from the universe. The suit of swords is air energy, so it has to do with, it's the suit of the mind, so cerebral energy. It's also communication, how we get our thoughts across to other people. And this particular ace is also a card of victory, right? So the Ace of Swords can represent some type of victory coming in here for you. In the near future, we have the 10 of Wands. So interesting, because you have the 9 and, sitting across from it, the 10, which I mentioned as being the last of the minor arcanas in the suit of Wands. So you can see how tired the man looks, how tired the horse looks, and they're just trying to make it up the hill, right? Trying to make it back to their house. And the 10 of Wands can show up when in a work setting you have been putting in your fair share and kind of doing other people's as well, when you were just when you took on one responsibility or, a couple of responsibilities in addition to your own, it was, it wasn't that tiring, but you've been doing it for a long time. So, it's feeling tired, feeling exhausted, just ready to, put all of these wands down and go back to the Ace of Wands and have that new light beginning. So some type of cycle coming to an end here with the 10, possibly in the workplace. We have you showing up as the 3 of Cups. This is a card of celebration, right? 3s in the tarot typically represent abundance, fertility, growth potential. And this particular 3, as it is the suit of cups, which is water energy, it deals with emotions, relationships, feelings. This can be, as sort of simple as getting together, meeting up with friends that you haven't seen for a while, going out for a drink, meeting up for a coffee. So that type of get together, to a more significant celebration. So celebrating news of a pregnancy, birth of a child, an engagement, news of a new job. But it's celebrating, something with a group of either friends, right, colleagues, just loved ones. We have the 7 of Wands in your environment, so surrounding you. The 7 of Wands, it's interesting because, yes, he's outnumbered. You can see that, he has 6 wands pointed at him, right? But even though he's outnumbered, ultimately, he is going to come out on top, right? He has this this sort of vantage position of being up on this peak. He has the shield to guard himself against these other wands. He has this dragon that he could technically just fly off. So even though he's outnumbered, he could easily sort of defeat and get out of that situation. The 7 of Wands sometimes shows up when you are needing to defend yourself, defend your point of view, related to, it could be within the workplace, because we have these other wands cards showing up. If we look to the 3 of Cups, it could be defending your point of view or, your decision surrounding possibly a relationship, right? So defending to your friends, why you want to get into this relationship, or there's something to do with, defending your point of view or defending yourself. Hopes and fears, we have another 3. This is 3 of the major arcana, the Empress. She can show up when there is, and we had that as well, right, with the 3 of Cups. She can show up when there is news of a pregnancy, whether this is your own, somebody around you, right, someone birth of a child. But she's a very beautiful energy. She's all about growth potential and abundance and fertility. You can see all the trees laden with fruit there behind her, and all the fields. They have, the wheat behind her. So it's a lot of just growth potential and abundance. So if this isn't a pregnancy, something along those lines, it could be a period of great growth potential for you within the workplace. It could be a month where you are really, like, people are taking note of you because you're just physically, very, very attractive. There could be a focus on your outward appearance, right? Just you're getting your hair done, or just for, revamping your wardrobe. But you're hoping for this. So this could be you hoping for this, this abundance to come in, or even the pregnancy, or this, growth potential. Wow, we have as the outbound energy, the Tower. This is number 16 of the Major Arcana. And the Tower is significant energy. It represents, this significant tearing down of something, right, of old beliefs, of some form of structure here, in order to give way to, something very different coming in here. And we're kind of guided with the Tower to be open, to allow ourselves to embrace this change, right? To allow ourselves to adapt to whatever this tower moment is, because that's what's going to really make the difference, right? Not facing it with fear, right? But instead facing it with being very open to whatever this change, this tower moment might be. And I'm going to just pull, I wasn't going to, but I'll pull the card that is immediately beneath it, and it's the Knight of Wands. So there could be, we have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. We have this ending to the cycle with this 9 and 10 of Wands. So for some of you, this Tower moment could be in the workplace. And, the knights go off on quests. They bring back offerings, right? This is the offer of a new job coming in. So it could be very unexpected. It could catch you kind of off guard. Let me go ahead and flip the cards, flip the deck over. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment card. It's the minor arcana version of the star card, right? The wish upon a star. So it's having all your dreams come true. You can see that the woman on the card, she is blowing, right, the dandelion fluff out into the universe and then setting her intentions and trusting that the universe will provide. So there's some type of wish fulfillment coming in, potentially in your career, in the field of your career. But, if we go back to this center position, I feel that even though it might come in quite unexpectedly, it might be a job offer that, you weren't expecting. It might be a promotion that you weren't expecting. There's something very unexpected about it. But ultimately, it is very positive with this sun sitting center of your spread. We have this clarity of mind coming in, right, in the position of your higher self. So there's victory at hand. For a few of you, there could be this, what I was mentioning with the pregnancy news, celebrating this news of a pregnancy. Obviously, that's not going to resonate with everybody. But, for the most part, I would say it's on the career front. And it's going to really just catch you by surprise. But it's all about how you embrace this change, and it is going to be for the better. It is positive. So it looks like a very good month for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped, Aries. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of February. Bye for now.